I first fell in love with cardiac imaging and really echocardiography, because that was what we had in the 80s, as a trainee. And it was just so cool that we could see the heartbeat in real time. I mean, and it just was like a goosebump experience. So I grew up in suburban New Jersey with a family with 3 kids, 2 parents. My dad was in research in pharma in New Jersey, and my mom had been interested in medicine, but neither one of them, they're both first-generation college students, and neither one of them could go to medical school, although they would have loved to do that. But I remember being, I think 3 or 4, and doing surgery on my stuffed animals. At which point, I think everybody knew that I was kind of serious about this medicine thing. At Princeton, I was in the 2nd class of women that were there, and it was a little strange. The campus was still not really used to women. Being the first woman, or one of the first women, was definitely a factor in my career. It was ever present. I was the 3rd woman in my fellowship program, the first woman on the faculty at Penn. When I went to Wisconsin, I was the only woman on the faculty. I was the chief, I was the boss, but I was the only woman on the faculty. And I don't think it's really altered my career path, because I really didn't pay a lot of attention to it. I was interested in what I wanted to do, and I was interested in the opportunity, not in the barriers. In medical school, it was called Medical College of Virginia then, in Richmond. I had a blast. It was really wonderful. And I connected with some of the junior and senior residents, and we could do so much as a teaching hospital. We did procedures like crazy as 3rd and 4th year medical students that when I went to Penn for my residency, we didn't even do that. I did internal medicine because it was the most intellectually challenging to me to really solve these problems. I started doing clinical trials in imaging, and the first big one was the PROMISE trial. It was a 10,000 patient NIH-funded trial, which was really the first randomized trial for imaging to look at clinical outcomes, which is a whole new evidentiary paradigm switch from looking at imaging performance or sensitivity and specificity of imaging, or how it may change a diagnosis. This was, does it change the body count at the end of the trial? So mentors, I've not had, one person, but I've had so many people who were wonderful advisors and wonderful colleagues that I could learn from. Maybe because I didn't have that, I'm attuned to mentoring people, but it's also just more fun. I love doing projects with trainees, with learners, to help people grow. And so everything I do has a fellow or junior faculty. I've even worked with undergraduates here who were phenomenal at first author papers in big journals. It's been great. Oh gosh, there's so many people to thank. I mean, I have an amazing husband who is a scientist at NIH, who was at Duke for many years, Jeff Ginsburg. He is truly, truly a special human being, and I'm a very lucky woman to have him every day after 30 years of marriage. And of course, the patients and the research subjects and the people who, again, are interested in contributing and helping, and even with their own bodies as research participants. They're just so important to any enterprise in medicine, but certainly to what I've done.